Hello everyone, today is Friday, April 11th. We're going to go over our third quarter performance, which is December, January, February, with the results with Jesse and Rob. So let's just get right into it.
Happy Friday, everyone.
And happy Friday. Here's the agenda. You can see it on the board here behind me. Last message, consolidated performance, our logistics update, the truck update, the ProFleet driving school update, the industry update, which there's a lot more information coming, what our traction program's doing, and other news. So with that being said, to me, teamwork is a lot like being part of a family. It comes with obligations, entanglements, headaches, and quarrels, but the rewards are worth the cost. And Rob and I looked at this and we thought this is really important to bring up. So Rob, you got any other commentary you want to talk about?
We have a lot of individual companies. All those individual companies, they cross over, they work with each other. I like how it talks about entanglements. I mean, sometimes things do get a little entangled. And sometimes there is a little bit of quarreling. I just want to thank everyone here. We're all better together. I think we all know that. There are some times where it gets a little challenging, right? Mm-hmm. To deal with your brother or sister. You ever have that, Al?
I got brothers.
You have any entanglements? Headaches, quarrels? It does happen sometimes. I'm just appreciative to everybody for working through that and being able to see that there's a bigger picture. Because every time Hill Brothers has a success, that's just better for the brand. And we all, kind of rely on each other for that we're all going to keep doing well and keep building this. And the more each of us does that, it's better for the whole. And as the whole group gets better, it's better for each of the pieces too.
Absolutely.
Right? So I just wanted to shout out everybody for that. And that we're going to have to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. I think we got to keep doing it. Our managers need to keep managing it. Where there are some of these collisions, these entanglements, and we're here to help you through that. But they probably won't always go away. But the more we keep doing it, and the more everyone tries to move forward, we're probably going to see some of these. But we're a great team, yep. And I think we all respect each other. And I just want to call it out and say thank you, because I know it's hard to work Absolutely. Through sometimes.
It's a process of a growing organization.
Yeah, definitely. We want to do this. You've seen this before, but the leadership team here at Hill Brothers is really the one that drives all this performance that we're going to go through. Jesse Boyer is going to be up here, Vice President of Logistics. Glenn Knust, we're going to talk about Glenn a little bit later because he's retiring, right? Congratulations, yeah. Glenn Knust. But he's still driving some great things in our maintenance group. Mitch Evans, Director of Recruiting and Driver Development. Cammie Bruner driving our truck operations group, Brianda Ziegler, our CFO. There's a number of the Hill family. Pat Hill, Vice President of Pricing. Scott Hill, Director of Sales for the truck line. Ryan Hill, Operations Manager with Cammie. And you've got Nick Hill down with Logistics as a Customer Success Manager. So all those people thrown in, helping to bring these results to you. And our results for Q3, we are profitable as an organization here. On the left is the quarter. As Al mentioned, it's December, January, and February. Tough times to be in transportation. Always our toughest quarter. So you can see on a year-to-date basis, we are still profitable. And it's a little bit of a mixed result, where the truck line is about the same operating ratio as we were a year ago, and there are some improvements at logistics. So overall, we've improved a little bit from where we were a year ago. We didn't meet the budget or the forecast targets that we wanted to, but we are still profitable and lagging a little bit where we wanted to be in our forecast. I will say our balance sheet, which you hear me talk about our balance sheet a lot, that in difficult times like this, a strong balance sheet is needed to really help get you through it. And ours is looking very good. We've had some excess cash that we have used to pay off some equipment, which helps our cash flow. And actually, this metric here is an important one. our fixed assets, it's the value of really all the equipment we own, less the bank debt that we have against that. And that has decreased over $600,000 from where it was a year ago. So even in some tough times here, we're still paying down equipment. It's kind of like paying a little extra on your mortgage. We're still able to do that, which is really helping. We also have included here one of our lenders. BMO does a lot of lending with us, probably our number one lender. They told Brianda Ziegler, our CFO, that our performance through these last few years is a lot better than a lot of our peers. So relatively speaking, we're doing well. We're doing well on our financial health. We are always striving to be better, but that's where we're at right now. And I think particularly with some of the things a lot of you have heard in the news, hopefully we're welcome to deliver this. We wish it was better, right? We always do.
Yeah. Well, the market is the market.
But everyone's battling through it. We appreciate that. And with that, we're going to bring Jesse up here, who's going to talk about the logistics company and what they're doing to move things forward.
Thanks, Jess.
Happy Friday, everyone at Hill Brothers. I'm a little bit more excited than generally I am. I know it's a shocker, but December's gone, the weather's blowing out, so we should have some good months ahead of us with A++ weather so that we can get into the prime trucking and start to drive a lot more positive performance, heading into the end of the fiscal year. So I just want to do a better job of sharing with the whole company a lot of the KPIs that we look at here in our logistics company, whether it's downstairs here in Omaha or 45 miles down the road in Lincoln. So we as a leadership team and a logistics company look at these 4 major KPIs to track the health of our business here at HBL. It's load volume, it's revenue, it's gross margin by dollars, and gross margin by percentage. Now you heard Rob and Al talk about the market is the market. And Q3 was a challenge for us as well here at HBL. But it was kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, so to speak. We stubbed our toes in December and January, just like our peers in the logistics industry. But man, did we come back with force. And I just want to say thank you to everyone downstairs and in Lincoln. This is a hard business. And, when you continue to, see less than performances in December and January, it could be very easy to give up, but that's not what our team did. And you can see by the green over my shoulder that they dug in, and I'm happy to report that we had quite a bit of positive growth, and that was due to a really strong February. So thank you to the team. I'll just go over the highlights really quick, and then we'll jump into another slide. But our load volume was up 29% over last year. Our revenue growth was virtually 37% up year over year, and I would attribute that to, we landed a customer called Swire Coca-Cola, and they are attributing to roughly about 200 to 300 loads of new business a month. So great job to Colby Meyer for finding that for the organization, and great job to the team with Penny growing what Colby brought into HBL. Next, our gross margin by dollars is up 30%. That's a change in the market, right? Winter's over, people need to come back and earn more Christmas cash, so to speak. So they're out there trucking, and that's really good. And then our gross margin is down a little bit. We had to coax some capacity out of the house. And in some of these new emerging markets, as Al said, it's the cost of growing. So we had to make some investments into capacity that would, represent our brand as shippers and receivers. And then lastly, I just want to call out that we are growing as well, when many of our peers are not. We've added 2.5 people to HBL, and those were down in our bulk office, 2 full-time employees, and the 0.5 is for an intern. But I am happy to report we were able to convert Jackson over to full-time, so he will become part of the HBL family as soon as he graduates from the university. So congratulations, Jackson, and welcome to the team. Next slide. Just kind of want to talk a little bit about where we're going, so to speak, and where our focuses are. Here at HBL, we're really focused on continuing to enhance the customer and carrier experience. I mean, we're hearing a lot about AI and advanced technologies in the logistics space, and it is pretty incredible what some of these things can do for us in scalability. So we'll continue to research that, and if it makes sense for Hill Brothers, we will bring it into the fold. Second, we're really going to be leveraging Chris Morris and her sales team and talent to grow into different markets and grow our brand nationwide. I mean, off the back of such a great reputation here with the Hill Brothers truck line, you know, at times our customers can see us as a, you know, a reputable Midwest trucking company or a Midwest brokerage. We're really trying to break that mindset as we can go anywhere and be anywhere in all 48s and into Canada. And as you can see in my bullet point, currently we operate in 22 states daily. We really want to continue to add to that diversity in our book. And then lastly, we're just going to keep reevaluating current job roles in this ever-changing environment to the needs of our customers. If you told me when I started in this business 10 years ago that we would need someone solely focused on tracking and tracing so that we could give our customers real-time updates, I would say you guys were crazy. But now, fast forward 10 years, and that's just the standard of working in the logistics business. We've got a very, very good person handling that in Destiny Kuhn. So thank you, Destiny. Appreciate your help. And then on the other side of the house, the HBO bulk piece, I mean, Tyler and his team are doing a fantastic job. We're going to grow at 90% plus year over year. We're basically going to double our output this year with plans to double yet again next year. So we need to make sure that we have, you know, the resources and the staffing to provide for our customers the expectation that we've set, but also put our people in position to succeed so we don't burn them out. Next, we're going to keep driving fresh and new ideas into the bulk sector. Digital tracking and tracing, while on the van and reefer side, is just a standard. The bulk side's a little bit behind in that, and so we need to help coach and train our drivers into the way that we're really looking into the business and where the bulk sector's going. You know, now Tyler's team is laser focused on that, where a lot of our competition isn't. So it's not that we're first to the market in that, we just want to be the best in the market and not lose focus on that so we can deliver for our customers. Next, while we have made a splash into the bulk industry, we need to keep diversifying. The bulk business is real seasonal. So, you know, when there's snow on the ground, we need to bring feed in. When there isn't snow on the ground, we put fertilizer in the ground. Well, that makes for kind of this up and down performance. And no business, especially our board, likes to see an up and down business. So we need to diversify our commodities, so that we continue to do this kind of performance instead of engaging in the peaks and valleys. And lastly, the goal, you know, while we're not the biggest yet, we want to be the best. So just continuing to find ways to drive a customer experience through proactive communication in a world, in a bulk sector that's really, hey, here's 50 loads, I trust you to get it done. What Tyler's team has been able to do is create some nightly updates or provide some real-time communication, and we've seen that really increase in the way that our customers value what we do, but also on the numbers side. So lastly, much to echo what Rob and Al are saying, we are better together. So while we had, as an organization, kind of a tough Q3, that's what we do. You know, logistics backs up the truck line when the truck line is struggling, and the truck line has certainly backed up logistics when logistics has stubbed their toe and struggled. So, you know, just want to continue to say thank you to everyone here at Hill Brothers for what you do, and, you know, let's keep growing this thing. Thanks, and I'll turn you back over to Rob and Al.
Thank you, Jesse. So Rob, you can talk about truck performance update.
Yeah, definitely. So on a year-to-date basis, we've got the numbers up here through, so this is from June all the way through February. So operating ratio trailing where we wanted to be in our mid-year forecast. Some of the things recently that are happening, net fuel costs is unfavorable, meaning this is we have surcharges with our customers to help recover fuel costs as that fluctuates. Essentially what happens is as fuel costs increase, it's always difficult for us because we see the cost increase before that revenue follows. So that's been happening here over the last few months to end the quarter in February. That has reversed here in March, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So we do see that's going to swing the other way. We have had some positive things on a line haul rate per mile that are happening in our short haul division and in our regional division, so that was positive. Our drayage division going out to the port out in California did see some reduced volume that was had a negative impact for the quarter, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well coming up. Our sales team did a great job with some wins with some freight at Kellogg's, some wins with Pepsi, PCA, which is a big contract of ours right here in Omaha. That was renewed on a 4-year agreement. Scott Hill did a nice job with that. We got a 2 to 6% increase over that 4-year contract. So that is in place. That's part of what's helping some of those rate increases in the short haul division that I mentioned earlier. I mentioned earlier Glenn Knust, who's going to be retiring, but his team he's got down at the shop are managing our maintenance costs, and they're 1 cent per mile below what we had forecast. So that's always a difficult time in the wintertime, but through the snow, through a March blizzard, Al, Glenn and his team were down there. They're working hard to keep things moving. We appreciate that. Another piece of good news that came right at the end of the quarter, we renew our insurance on March 1st. And through the efforts of all of our drivers and how safe you are, to our safety team that really helps monitor all of that led to an insurance renewal that actually drove down our rates in our physical damage, in our auto liability. If you guys spend much time talking with some other trucking companies, there's not very many trucking companies that are seeing their insurance rates decline. So we're happy about that. We did have an increase in our umbrella rate, which is a little tough for anybody to avoid. But overall, some really good things on the insurance side, and that's going to provide some benefits for the next 12 months. So also to help our performance in the next 12 months, we're adding to our fleet. We feel like the market is turning. We're seeing some increases in rates per mile. So we have some trucks that we've purchased. We've added 15 trucks to the fleet. And right now we are scrambling, really working hard in our recruiting team to get them filled up. So that's some of the things that we're really working on right now, and we're going to talk some more about. Anything to add, Al?
Nope. You hit it.
Okay. Our goals for the quarter, as I mentioned, more about the big key goal, getting that driver count up. A lot of efforts in the retention side to really talk with our drivers to find out anything that we can do to help them to be more successful at Hill Brothers, and some really big recruiting targets to really add to that driver count. So it's a battle that we've seen, and we've seen some ups and downs. We've seen some really good success where all of our trucks were full here in early March. That's kind of backed off a little bit. So we're riding that wave and really trying to get some consistency with it. And that's going to be very key as we keep moving forward. There's efforts to, as I mentioned, Glenn Knust, where there's efforts to replace that position. Right now, there's sales efforts to really fill some holes in our network from Kansas City northbound, as well as just to upgrade some freight. Overall, our line haul rate per mile as a company is up 5% from where it was a year ago. And Al, you can attest for this. It's not because customers are giving us more or better rates, right?
No, it's the efficiencies.
It's efficiencies. It's replacing freight with better freight. So that's a lot of what our sales team's been able to do that has helped to improve that. At the same time, our back office, our RT group, our IT group, really helping to drive a lot of projects through our project management office. Some of the projects Jesse mentioned earlier, those projects never move as fast as we want, but Michael and his team are definitely moving those projects forward and helping all of us to be more efficient. Our HR group, our accounting team, all chipping in. There's a TransFlow AI project that's really going to help bring some efficiencies to our back office, some financial reporting efforts, a lot of things here going on to really move us forward. So appreciate everyone's efforts to do that.
Hey, one more thing about the truck line. We are going to study some other routes, and I use the word study. We're looking at going down the I-35 corridor to Texas, as well. We're studying the Phoenix market as well. So we'll follow up with that, more updates as we do our studies, but it's definitely part of the growth strategy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, ProFleet, my turn. All right, so the performance highlights, January through February, kudos to the entire team. Roger, you've done a great job. It's been profitable. We've replaced our shuttle van between Lincoln and Omaha. We hired another instructor, David Rico. Congratulations. Welcome, David. The City of Lincoln, with their funds, have been a big, strong provider, and our relationship with the City of Lincoln, with the ARPA funds and all that, it's just been remarkable. Look at that, 300 graduates, 95% success rate. We're going to forecast almost of $1 million in top-line revenue. We're planning to grow into Latino communities to expand. We're upgrading some physical assets like the parking lot. We're pouring concrete as of today, fixing some potholes. And the biggest change is we now are Veterans Administration approved. We are now a VA approved training, truckload driving academy for the Veterans Administration. That's a big deal. So great job, Roger, and your entire team for putting that together. Next slide is about the industry. Uncertainty. Rob, I'll let you take that, and I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of us, anybody who's paid any attention to the news lately knows about some of the uncertainty that is going on, some talk of recessions going on. What we can report is, it is impacting us a little bit. We have export business that goes to the Port of Oakland. We have seen that some of those shipments have backed off. I mentioned that earlier. We're working on that. We're hearing some things that is going to get resolved, but we don't have some good timelines. Now, to that end, Al's going to be in Chicago tomorrow to be talking
Monday.
to our customer, ONE. Monday. To be talking to our customer about how we can recover that volume. If these volumes stay depressed, we're going to propose some other ways where we can take over some other business and try to keep our trucks, try to keep our drivers moving. So we're very actively trying to manage through that. There is some uncertainty around it because a lot of that export business does go to the Far East. So we're going to we're doing what we can to actively manage it, and we're going to pay close attention to it. So some talk of recession. Being in the Midwest and primarily hauling food, paper products, retail products, we are about as insulated, I think, as we can be, and we are diversified with some port business. We've got some dry van business. We've got some reefer business. That diversification in times like this, when things might be slowing down a little bit, can really provide a lot of value.
Yeah, we're hauling commodities that are pretty recessionary proof. I have no fear if there is a pending recession coming. We've done this before. We've seen this movie. We know how to handle it. So I feel very confident we'll get through this just fine.
So Freight Transportation Research, these items up at the top here, so they are predicting that rates will get better in 2025. 2% contract truck rates for dry van, 2% for contract truck rates for refrigerated. What I can tell you, and then they have some numbers here, March year to date, 1.3, March actually going down a little bit on the reefer world. As I mentioned, we're seeing our rates on a line haul basis going up 5%. So we're going against that trend, beating that trend, and we're just going to keep doing that. It's a tough time, but we are seeing some progress, and we're going to try to do more to keep upgrading that freight like we have been. One of the things that happens that when people start talking about recession is it drives down business demand in general, which usually is positive for the price of fuel. And fuel is coming down. Crude oil is down 13% since this Liberation Day where they announced these tariffs. Down pretty significantly since January 1st. So the lower those costs are really helps us as a truck line. We do have surcharges I mentioned earlier to recover costs when we're hauling freight. But we're not hauling freight all the time, Al, right? I mean, sometimes we're running around and we're empty, so that really knocks down the cost of that when we get some reduced fuel prices.
Right.
And another thing is, the sectors that we operate in really are seeing some good growth, at least relatively. Paper products, food products, both are expected to be growing in the plus 1% range over the next 12 months. So those are the industries that we work in, so that's positive news.
As well as beverages.
Yeah, beverages too, part of that retail, food. So on a full year, here's what our current forecast looks like. A year ago, we had a consolidated at the end of the year of 99.1. We're going to match that as what we're forecasting right now, another 99.1. I can't say enough to Jesse and his logistics team. They've had just a tremendous bounce back. They've experienced here in February. It's rolling over into March. The sales mavericks that Jesse mentioned are really uncovering a lot of opportunities. So they're doing a terrific job to bring in some new freight opportunities. The bulk team had one of their biggest months in February, and they're continuing to grow. And the whole Omaha team, just the resilience that you've shown. I know December was a challenge. I know January was a challenge, but you've all hung in there, and things are bouncing back very, very well there. On the truck line side, the last quarter of this year is really about building. It's about growing that fleet. And when you do that, we incur additional costs really to recruit and find those drivers. We don't get the benefits of that truck until a little bit later, at least the full benefit. So the fourth quarter here for the truck line, because we're working so hard to fill those trucks, is a little bit depressed from where we would like it to be. But all those efforts should really pay off when we get into May, June, and we start our next fiscal year. So, and a big shout out to all of our IT, our administration, HR, accounting, all the things that happens there to give us the information we need to run our business, the technology to make things run. So appreciate all of you. It takes everybody here to deliver this, as well as the shop and everything those guys are doing, as I had mentioned earlier. But so we're forecasting the end of the year making a few bucks, which is good. And we'll keep battling.
Yeah.
I know everyone's been battling. I know it's been a challenge for a lot of us, but we appreciate what everybody's done.
Yeah, those
to work through it all.
Those March blizzards didn't help, but we got through it.
No, they didn't. But we keep battling. So we've talked about traction and what we're doing with traction. So one of the things we got together with our logistics and our truck executives and really looked at our values, our passion, and our purpose, some of the kind of core elements of our culture. And the last time we had really looked at this in great detail was about 8 years ago. And this company's really evolved since then. We have a truck line. Well, we didn't even have a school, really. So we have a school, we have a truck line like we did before. The logistics company has really grown and is about matching the size of our trucking company. So a lot of that has just changed our organization. So we took a relook at it and really just tried to evolve as an organization. And that came to a new set of values that we're going to share with you. What I want to share is the old values. It doesn't mean that they've gone away. They're just not going to be emphasized as much as they were. But there's still going to be a fabric of what we do here. But we're going to have some new values. They're going to be designed a little bit differently. So the wheel that we talk about in our Hillbros way, some of those things are going to be sunsetted and replaced with some of these new values that we have. So getting right into it, these new values that the ownership, the executive team put together. One is we want people to care. We want people to give a shit. That's one of the things we want. We want to have a spirit of service. We want we, not me, which really gets to that teamwork that we're really trying to emphasize. We know we need to be adaptable. We think that's a key for us and to keep reacting to these market changes and try to be a little bit ahead of it. Relentless is something that and this is really carried over a little bit from our old, is that you just have to keep at it. I have to have grit, keep working, keep at it. Keep coming in every day and keep fighting. And I think that's a part everyone here definitely embraces. Another one, tradition. So we've got over 45 years. Mm-hmm. We're going to celebrate 50 years in 2027, not far away. So we want to respect that. And lastly, we want to be forward thinking. We encourage that. We know that we have to be looking out for what's coming so that we can position ourselves to be successful. So you're going to see more on this. Well, before I get to that, so our purpose as an organization, we believe strongly we're building relationships while delivering opportunities mile after mile. So that's the purpose and why we feel like we're here as an organization. Our passion our passion is to have the will to win. So we want to be the best. We want to deliver for our customers, right? We want to win. We want to win the day. We want to win. We want to win all the time. Right, Al?
Yep. Yep.
So look for more of this. Next week, you're going to hear from all of our executives are going to talk to some of these values, what they feel that it means to the organization. So you're going to hear more about that coming next week as we try to roll this out to everyone. And what I'll stress is we need your help. Please watch those presentations. Please understand. If you have any questions, please bring them up. But our values and our purpose and anything around our culture, it happens when all of us as employees embrace it, recognize it, and start doing it ourselves. Al and I can't make everyone adopt our culture and be part of our values. We can invite you to do it, but we really need you to jump in, to participate, and be a part of it. So,
Right.
so please look for that announcement, that recording next week. Also with Traction, within Traction, it's called a Vision Traction Organizer. I think of it as basically a strategic planning piece. That's been completed for the truck line in here. It's been completed for HBL in Omaha, and it's also been created for HBL in bulk. Now, all of those embody the same values, passion, all of that. But after that, they kind of separate because we all serve a little bit different customers. We have a little bit different product offering. So those strategies are there. That includes 3-year growth. It includes some 10-year targets in terms of where they see their piece of this organization moving. So we are going to share more of these with you, and there's work being done on that right now. So first, we're going to get these values introduced. It's going to be followed up pretty quickly with some of these plans so that all of you as employees can see where we're trying to drive the organization to. As Jesse mentioned, trying to talk through and share more of that information. So look for more communications on those strategies as well.
Okay, in other news, so good news. We have been awarded an elite fleet certification from the TCA. It's almost like best carriers to drive for, just to compare it. So it's a very nice honor. There's a picture of Scott Hill accepting the award down there at the Phoenix TCA meeting. Another event was the TCO1 benchmarking group for our trucks. We got the Best Idea Award. Way to go, Raul Surya.
Yeah, if you're any of the drivers that have had one of those yellow tags, that was the idea that Raul presented. And believe me, there were a lot of other truckers in the room that were very appreciative of it. It's really meant to help encourage pre-tripping of equipment, and we're getting some good results from it. So it was a great job, Raul.
We're spending a little money on the building updates, so you're going to see the M-Circle building being coated again with the stucco. It's kind of had its useful life. We're pouring concrete today down at I Street parking lot, and we're going to look at some other items. I know we got some issues with the drop lots where there's gravel in the holes. We'll get those fixed this summer, but stay tuned to that. The 2026 fiscal year budgets are developing. Rob's going to follow up with more information on that.
Okay.
And so wrapping this up, thank you again for all working together. Thank you for respecting each other. Thank you for the effort you bring every day. And thank you for striving to be a little better every day. That kind of rhymes, doesn't it, Rob?
It does.
So on behalf of all of us, thank you. Rob, you got anything last you want to say?
No, thanks everybody for everything you do. I think we're all welcome the springtime, right?
Thank God. Winter's over. So we'll talk to you soon on the next updates. Thank you.